Ibuki? Urian? I just saw a jab strong EX tackle combo. You don't see those that much in this game. It might have been good there, actually. It's good any place where you can't get a crouch fierce, and it's safe too. Well, rather, the jab strong is safe. Unblockable. You had to do a bunch of low parries. Wasn't fun. Even like 2 or 3 into a throw probably would have worked there. You never know though, because, you know, Urian could do like a towards forward or a stand fierce or something like that, and that'd just blow up your low parries. Very nice. If Urian can't get a crouch fierce, he doesn't get very much off of parry at all. It's a lot like Oro, actually. Except unlike Oro, you get an unsafe launcher. Changes everything. Whoa. Did that just activate on whiff? What up? Nice 7 AM stream, right? I'm on that England time still. I'd be sleeping in if I was over there. To wake up at 6 AM. I guess I have to jump around in this video a lot. Jump around now. Jump around. This is probably Urian's worst matchup. Akuma's not fun either. But this is only like a 4-6 to be honest. Really not that bad. I like it how in Street Fighter V they made it so you've got a slow fireball, a fast fireball, and an upward fireball. In this game, Urian has just 3 different fireball angles and they're all the same speed. But you rarely need to do... Like, there's a lot of overlap between the medium and the heavy one. In a lot of contexts, they both work. So I kind of prefer the variety of 5. But if it was me, I would have made the medium one be the one that goes up. And the light one be fast, or slow, and the heavy one be fast. I like putting the weird version on medium for some reason. I'm alright. I made a Guile video. And today's a Bath Cup. My first Bath Cup in like 3 weeks. What else is happening? Ooh, that was nice. I have not even opened SF5 since the patch. I guess I could make a dojo, I don't know. I don't actually know the mechanics yet. You could like earn stuff to put in your dojo. EX mirror makes it safe even on parry. You have to do like 2 parries. If it's tackle into EX mirror, you have to parry twice and then you can throw. You can't even do like a Stamina or anything. Because you'll just get hit by the mirror. Ooh, nice. That's what you do. You went for a bunch of parries. I get asked frequently which direction to parry in that context, because you could see that Chun-Li like turned around halfway through. You just parry towards Urian. If you parry ahead of the mirror, cosmetically you'll turn around, but the Chun-Li was just tapping right for all 3 of those. There's nothing like elaborate about it. You literally always parry towards the opponent. You can parry your way out, you just can't block your way out. But you quickly find with parries that if you're forced to parry, you'll notice that very quickly in this game. If you're forced to parry something when you don't know where it's coming, there's a really high chance you're just going to get fucked up. What is this? Accidental Ken pick. Did he pick the wrong super? Yeah, he picked Super 1. I don't know if I've ever seen a Ken not pick Shippu. And it makes a lot of sense, because Shippu is one of the best supers in the game. And Ken's other 2 supers are incredibly mediocre. It's been fun doing all this Third Strike videos and talking about why people don't pick certain supers. I think the next Third Strike character notes I'm going to do is probably Yang, because he's a fairly popular character while very easy to explain. He's one of the simplest characters in the whole game. He's not super duper hard to play. If you run Super 2, he's pretty easy to play. Super 3 is only barely harder. That being said, there's quite a lot of intricacy to Super 3, so I'm going to need to do some homework. I don't know, like this character-specific stuff. I think Universal Overhead into links doesn't work on everyone. And the cross-up unblockables, same business. Went to a local. How did you do? Chun-Li's car throw is so disgusting. That mid-range stand hard kick is pretty great against Ken. It's pretty great against anyone. That sounds alright. That all combo? It did. No, it didn't. Comboing out a drill kick is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, it's really hard. Nice punish. Chun-Li super goes half screen in 3 frames. I think you can use it there too, actually. He's just saving the meter. I'm sure that he could have done that and had the opportunity to. Well, obviously he had the opportunity, but I'm pretty sure that he probably considered. I'm pretty sure it's 3 frames. Nice. Anyway, he had such a life lead. Now there it is. See, he knows how to do it. He can see that command grab and go for that reversal super. The first time he was just like, eh, no point. Yeah, Chun-Li's pretty nasty. It's not even the greatest punishing super in the game. That's the funny thing. There's like a few that are better than it. The distance it travels pretty much isn't really a factor, except that was a good punish. The distance it travels isn't a huge factor except for going through fireballs, which is not really a thing you have to do that often in this game. People won't give you a lot of fireballs to go through unless it's like Rami. Chun-Li, I think Chun-Li doesn't actually have invincibility during that super, or it's complicated. She moves during the super freeze. Like she takes like most of her movement for that super. Oh, bad confirm. That's Chun-Li. That's Chun-Li right there. That's how you punish with Chun-Li. Punish with a throw into the corner. Chun-Li's such a weird character. He had a super to kill with. It's good. What he did was fine though. Chun-Li doesn't appear to be fireball or hit or throw immune during her super startup from what all I've seen. But because she moves during the super freeze, she's invincible during the super freeze because no actual time is passing. Like no frames are playing during the super freeze. And fireball she goes through during the super freeze. or like normals or whatever, like they don't touch her. Now, of course, it's a normal. She might still get hit by it as soon as the super freeze ends, generally. I confirm. Oh, that was a nice punish. And that was a really nice punish. That was a fucking nice punish. Low forward, and then he gets the Kara DP. You do need the Kara DP on Chun-Li in mid-screen. And then he cancels the second DP into a Shippu, which only gets 2 hits, which is rarely worth it. But it was worth it in this case. That was fantastic. That was really, really, really clutch. That was like great decision making and great execution. That was super impressive. If I knew that that was the combo I needed to do to win. Nah, no one ever autopilots the super there. If I knew that was the combo I needed to win, I would still only get it like 1/10 of the time. And he did it like after a parry in his one opportunity. After a guest parry in his one opportunity. Sexy. Chun-Li's car throw is so disgusting. Opponent whiffs the DP. Chun-Li's whiff punish is fucking one normal. No, he missed his double fierce. It's actually harder to time the 2 fierce hits than it looks. It looks like it's this easy brainless autopilot thing. The stomp and the follow-up from the stomp are pretty easy. Like stomp into light kick or whatever. No Kara needed in the corner. That was low short, low jab. He was probably going to do another short into super if it hit. But instead it was blocked, so he fished for low parries as soon as it ended. Block string, failed block string into parry fishing. That's how you play third strike. That's a failed Kara throw. No way. Even though we had super, getting Ken into the corner was maybe better. I don't know, it's hard to say. I probably would have landed super if it was me. Chun-Li's punish damage without super is actually very mediocre. That's a double fierce. Anti-air stand jab. Might have been an OS parry, but from the angle it didn't really look like he did one. Chun-Li's stand jab is not any better than any other stand jab for anti-airing. Which is not very good, that is. Best stand jabs are pretty terrible anti-airs in this game. Chun-Li's is a bit better than average, I guess. Why has there been a Chun-Li every match? It's a team of Chun-Li, Chun-Li Ken. Versus this Necro, Ken, Urian. That's what I'm gathering from that little bottom part. You can parry that on reaction. That's like the downside of a lot of overheads in this game. Because overheads are supposed to be reactable to blocking, they're also reactable to parrying. And Necro's 2 command overheads are both reactable. You can spot them and you can just go for a couple parries. 1 or 2 depending on which overhead and which version. So both of Necro's overhead specials are not that good. The jumpy one is airborne frame 1, I think. Right? Pretty sure. So you can use it as a get a reversal option. If you get hit, you get air reset, and you're also immune to lows. Actually, I'm not sure about that. I don't remember if it's one of those. Nice. He's dead. A taunt. Lick him. Oh. He had 2 HP. Lick wouldn't have killed. Spaghetto. That's pretty good. Drills are surprisingly safe in this game. The minus frames will be different depending on how many hits of the drill you can get. It can be 1 or 2. Parry into a heavy hook. Yeah. He can do another super here, and he probably should. No, Strong would have dizzied. What he did was the right play. He just dropped it. Back Strong, that is. I would have done another super. It wouldn't have been as good as what he tried to do. Because if he got the dizzy without the super, then he could have taunted, and then the super that he did in the follow-up combo would have been powered up by the taunt. I want this Necro team to beat this Chun-Li Ken team. I need this Necro to win this round. Necro performs surprisingly well against a lot of top tiers. He's got like kind of generally slightly poor matchups. But rarely is he actually counterpicked. Classic tier list his worst matchup is Yon at 7-3. And all of his other matches are like 4-6s. Not all of them, but you know, a lot of the other high tier matches. Necro has classically had quite a lot of success in tournaments, despite the fact that he's almost always listed as a low tier character. He's done better than a lot of lower mid tier characters, like considerably better. Classic tier list put him at like 4th worst in the game, but it's hard to imagine that could ever be true when he's done so much better than like Alex or Remy or even Elena, who are usually listed higher. Oof. Ken probably can't punish that, especially with no super. Dashed under the overhead. That's problematic right here. Yep. If you hit that low strong really high up, or while the opponent's really high up, even if they parry it, they usually won't be able to hit a button in time to punish your parried low strong. It's nice anti-air. Yeah, Necro's like Sim in that way. He's like SF4 or SF5 Sim, where like most people kind of don't regard him to be like a super strong character. But then he can do like an alarming amount of work with the right player. The one into KKZ? That shit's pretty good. It's hard to do. I'll just man on a bicycle and a badly dressed man on a bicycle. Attire. I want a unicycle attire. That makes more sense. A tire. So the Necro team won. Thank God. Yeah, I like this tree a lot as well. The sub. The Falcon. The Falc 55. Ibuki probably had an air throw there, but he didn't do anything. And then Chun-Li went from getting parried to then attacking. Pretty good punish. He might have been able to do better, I don't know. This'll kill. Very hard to get out of that without dying. Ibuki can link naturally out of her towards forward overhead, but it is quite reactable. So it could... that was a taunt. You do have a decent chance of getting fucked over if you go for that overhead like that. That being said, it actually doesn't have that much recovery. Because when it's parried, the game treats it like it's an air normal. And she just recovers instantly when she hits the ground. So, like... Well, not instantly, but like, you don't have that much time to get a punish on her. If it's like a deep overhead, then even your like 4 or 5 frame move can get blocked. Oof. I'm still on Euroland time. Chun-Li's dizzy output is very low. Her super does a decent amount of dizzy. Does like 30% of the dizzy bar or something. But that's pretty much it. And her attacks don't have a whole lot of combo ability. So she usually won't stun you unless she really hits you, unless you really open yourself up a lot. Safe. Well, he went for another. That was definitely unsafe. I know it seems like since it doesn't knock over EXDP, you could just parry whatever Ibuki does on the way down. But in practicality, that's a lot harder than it sounds. Because Ibuki can do a lot of things on the way down, including nothing. It just becomes an anti-air situation. So it's technically good for the guy on the ground. On certain characters, Ibuki can actually combo out of a EX Kozukiri. Well, on Hugo she can. I don't know if she can do it on anyone else. Maybe like Q. Or some other tall motherfucker. You're in. Very nice. Ibuki has a little bit of combo weirdness. Because of their moved super she had. Did I defeat England? Yes. Like you can do, heavy Sumuji is 3 hits and doesn't super cancel. And light Sumuji, no, I think it does super cancel. Light Sumuji is 2 hits, but medium is 2, but then if you hit a kick, you can get a third one. And then for the medium and maybe the heavy as well, I don't remember how it worked. Maybe it's only the heavy, I don't remember. She can get like a Sumuji canceled to a super. But that's useless into Super 2 because it's a hit grab and you don't get the grab, so it just does like the fucking piddly ass fireball. And you can't do it at all into Super 1 because it's an air super. So at the end of the day, you can only use it into Super 3 and it's not that good because of the scaling. It used to be really good for her old super, the one that got removed in Second Impact. But, you know, it got removed, so. And what's really weird is EX Sumuji super cancels. Like, it still super cancels in Third Strike. But her Super 1, you can't do it because it's an air super. And EX Sumuji into Super 2 or Super 3 aren't possible because Super 2 and Super 3 are both 1-bar supers. So the cancelability of EX Sumuji is now, like, literally, you can't even use it. Unless you go into the game system direction and, turn on multiple super bars. Nice. Ibuki has a lot of weird wonkiness in her toolset. She also has baby hands and no reach. Ibuki has the smallest throw range in the entire game, which technically speaking makes sense, since she's got the smallest arms. Something about Ibuki in Third Strike really reminds me of an SNK character, gameplay-wise. She's got a lot of movement-oriented specials. And everything is very restrained. She's got like a lot of like really tiny normals and then a lot of combo unfriendly big normals. I can't explain it. Something about it feels SNK. She feels like a Garo character. Garo came after this game though. I don't think so. So, in Third Strike, Elena has all kicks, and she throws with her foot. But in Street Fighter 4, she has all kicks but throws with her hand. That always pissed me off. Like, she'll still throw you with her foot if you get the throw off in Street Fighter 4. Like, the throw animations are the same. Well, one of them's the same. She only had one throw animation in this game. So that's like her back throw. But now she's got like a forward throw in Street Fighter 4. But like her throw whiff animation uses her hand, and that always bothered me. It's supposed to be this all kick character. I mean, it makes more sense to grab someone with your hand, don't get me wrong. But they took away like the purism of Elena kicking you. Purism, the purity. Don't think that was a punish, but it might have been. Yeah, that's the worst part, is that Jury has a throw whiff animation with her feet in Street Fighter 4. So there's nothing about it that they couldn't have done. In fact, it's almost the same animation. Okay, no, it's completely different. But they could have had that on Elena. Yeah, Elena comes from the side. Jury comes from like the top. Yeah, it's not so much that Abigail skipped leg day, it's more like he like every day is arm day. In addition to whatever else it would have been. Abigail doesn't skip any day of the week. You can't skip days and look like him. I hope that eventually, once SF5 dies, they make a, you know, ultra mega costume pack. Because there are so many costumes, and getting them all after the fact is going to be so impossible. Storing lightning legs there is really good because you can end up on either side of the opponent and then immediately do a lightning legs. And lightning legs is very difficult to do anything about. You can technically go for an ass ton of parries. But I think that lightning legs hit so fast that you can't do parry into a throw. Maybe you can. You can't do parry into almost anything though. Parry into 4-frame normal will get beaten by the next set of lightning legs. When you parry a special move, it only freezes the opponent for 2 frames. Plus whatever the natural recovery of the move is. But of course lightning legs doesn't have its natural recovery yet because it's not over. She's still kicking. Anti-air parry into low strong, very common anti-air for Dudley. He can also use crouch fierce or stamina house or things like that. Low strong is cool because it throws the opponent all the way the fuck across the screen. Ooh, he tried to do a short swing blow to bait the Karakusa, but the Karakusa just grabbed the short swing blow. Makoto's nasty. Makoto's a nasty ass character. This is a Super 3 Makoto. I was kind of wondering why I didn't do a Super 1 after that dash punch at the end. But it's fucking Ton and Renki. Ton and Renki's not useless, but Makoto's other 2 supers are really good. And Ton and Renki is also a giant liability. Oh, she fell out. Super 3 would have hit properly. Honestly, like, Super 3 usually does about the same damage, too. Oh no, the Ton and Renki Makoto got fucked. She didn't even activate. It's Oro. Super 2, Super 3, Super 2. Super 2 is the one you usually see against Dudley because he's very easy to juggle. You need very little screen position to do the infinite on Dudley. And he also is very cooperative when being juggled. You can also cross him up in the corner, and the super is pretty good against him in neutral. He doesn't have good ways around it. So like overall, it's just very obnoxious against him. I want to click that link, but not during this round. He tries to do anti-air roundhouse. Dudley's actually surprisingly hard to anti-air for like most characters, including for Oro. Like Dudley's jump is so low that you can't anti-air with like close strong because like he'll be coming in at the wrong angle and you'll get far strong. Stand roundhouse works, but that's like the only thing that works for anti-airing Dudley. Maybe Crouch Fierce as well. But both of those are parryable and they're both parried at the same timing and they're both punishable by a full jump in if they're parried. Um, it depends a little bit on the matchup. That's the correct thing to do. But now he's still got opened up. Oro can't turn this into another unblockable though. I don't like that Dudley just did that. He's gonna die because of that. Parrying there was really bad. Close strong cancel the chicken is actually a surprisingly bad anti-air. One, if the opponent's not grounded, the chicken won't always combo. Depends on the character. Um, it's good after. It can be good after a parry, but also if the opponent empty jumps, you know. Close strong is not a great anti-air in and of itself, or rather, it usually benefits from being supplemented by an OS parry. And if you're waiting for the OS parry to activate, you can get the close strong when if they empty jump, you can get the close strong while they're on the ground. So it's not as good as it sounds. The nice thing about it is it doesn't care whether the opponent's airborne or on the ground. The juggle works either way. But they can be too high. Usually you just use the close strong both hits, and then you just, you know, do a super cancel or... Yay, super in. That removes 3 hits of the 4 hits of the super. And then Dudley bonks off it. It's like overall good for Dudley. If 3 hits of Oro super are removed, he can't get unblockable or anything. You need at least 2 hits of Oro super to get an unblockable. Oh yeah, uppercuts are pretty good anti-air for Oro. Any version, honestly. Maybe not heavy, but light, medium, and EX are all fairly good anti-airs. Heavy comes out at a kind of a bad angle, and it's not very fast. And most of the hits are kind of very low, actually. You'll probably only get like 1 or 2 hits as an anti-air. It's a move designed to hit people in front of him. Oh, the link. Wait, timeout. It's only Chun-Li. I don't care. Aw, is that Masaru? Do we even know what that guy looks like? I don't remember if there's been a picture of him. Oof. This Dudley picks Super 1 against Makoto, but is picking Super 3 against Chun-Li. I don't understand why Dudley's pick the supers they do. Most Dudleys pick Super 3 in every matchup, and some Dudleys pick Super 1 against, like, Chun-Li, but then Super 3 in every other matchup. If Dudley picks Super 1 against Makoto, but is still picking Super 3 against Chun-Li. I think Super 1 is good against Makoto. You can do some cool juggles against Makoto. In the corner, you can get, like, short swing blow in your, like, crouch on us combos and stuff. Which you can't do against a lot of characters. She just walked through him. That was cool. That wasn't even a dash. Corpse hopping with dashes is actually fairly common in this game. Corpse hopping with walking, I don't think I've ever even seen. You can only corpse hop someone in this game if they quick stand. Curiously. There it again. That wasn't so much a corpse hop. If the opponent's... It depends on the matchup. It depends on who's on the ground and who's dashing. But a lot of characters can dash through other characters while they're doing their quick stand. There's also a few instances of characters being able to just raw dash to each other. Like I've seen like a Shoto dash and a Makoto dash at the same time and they went through each other. So every now and then the push boxes just get really confused. If the angle, if the distance between the two characters and the dash timings are just right. I still don't know the mechanics of the throw text that switch sides. That happens every now and then. It seems to be when both players back throw, but that doesn't always happen. It's like if they're both abnormally close to each other and they both back throw. And even then it will only happen in some matchups. Good lord. That's Tominaga on commentary. Recognize him. Alright, let me find a time when this logo is not on the screen. Corpse hopping is just moving through the opponent while they're on the ground. You can see it a lot with like... There are a lot of deliberate ones. Like a lot of characters in a lot of Street Fighter games can like do something that leaves them in the corner and then towards medium kick over the opponent's body or something like that. Some overhead or something where you hop over the opponent. Cody's towards roundhouse does it. It's used for repositioning. But it can also be used to like surprise the opponent who's not expecting you to be on the other side. Cody can time it so that it'll either cross up or not with only like one frame of difference, so it's almost impossible to see which is which. This is one of Oro's bad matchups. Even Kuroda's tier list put it as a 6-4 in Elena's favor. I remember being at 25th anniversary. No, I remember being at 37 Reloaded. And I said that, and someone there, Duralath, was like, what the fuck? I said that Oro lost to Elena, and everyone was like, you're just bad. Like, what the fuck? No way Oro loses to Elena. And then they pulled up in the Kuroda tier list, and Kuroda's said fucking 4-6 in Elena's favor. And I was validated for 1 second, but I didn't need to be validated because I knew what I was saying was right. Elena's neutral shits all over Oro, but Oro's better in pretty much every other area. But of course, neutral matters a lot. Another annoying thing about Elena is how she falls out of combos. Whoa, that's not gonna hit. He went for the red fire on the last hit. Why? You can already punish it. And the punish is like the same. You don't get like a jump in for that red parry. He went for raw activate 5 stone. I don't like the way this Soro's doing things. Yeah, see Elena falling out there? That's... Some characters would get launched there, some wouldn't. Or really doesn't have a button in neutral. That's like the big problem with this matchup. Crouch medium kick is, as usual, his best button against characters who he sucks against. Her low presence is really good against him. He can't counter poke her lows almost at all. Three stone is better in neutral, but 5 stone in neutral, it lasts way less time, but there's a possibility that if you get a pickup, you'll be able to go into launcher and then get a juggle. So 5 stone is like... 3 stone is like constant pressure, and then 5 stone is like a little bit of pressure, but you can turn it into a launch. But you see what he just did there? He did overhead to stand strong. That combo's on every character except Elena, Oro, and Chun-Li. So that's why you don't usually use like raw activate 5 stone like that. This Oro's playing like I don't like the way he fights. His neutral's okay against Elena, but he's doing a lot of stuff that doesn't work on Elena and like acting like it works, which is kind of weird. Nice. A lot of he's making some questionable decisions. Like that sequence honestly isn't worth going for against Elena. It's okay to activate raw 5 stone against Elena. That can work. But you can't combo into launcher. You gotta combo into something else. Dark combo. These are kind of annoying to block on reaction. Anti-air down backbreaker cannot be parried. It will lose to most air normals, but if you hit an air normal that early, then Hugo might be able to punish you on the ground. So he tried to hit an air normal later, but just got shot down. He didn't even hit the super with the clap, I don't think. He might have. A lot of Japanese players said that the way that American tournaments are run is a million times better than the way Japanese tournaments are run, except for the actual like gameplay. But the idea of a loser's bracket is a American thing. They didn't do that in Japan. And also the idea of 2 out of 3 like started in America and went to Japan eventually. They were done before like American tournaments. Most Japanese tournaments were best of 1. No losers bracket. A lot of them were team tournaments, which you don't really see in the US. They like that in Japan, but they hate that in US tournaments. They still do team tournaments in Japan, but now they have losers brackets in 2 out of 3. That sequence is really good against Hugo. It's safe on block, safe on parry. And leads to the Hugo chicken on hit. Hugo is very weird to do the chicken combo on. I usually just do a baby variation of the chicken that's not very strong, but useful for repositioning, and this still does good damage. Ooh, what an odd setup. Oh, and it sets up the Hugo chicken. Yes. I don't get to see these very often. Very nice, very sexy. That was a really cool little setup he did there with the double super bounce. And that gave him the time to charge. See, when you jump over the opponent's head, you lose your fireball charge, and you need to start with a fireball for the Hugo chicken. So he jumped ahead over way early, and then that gave him time to charge to the right, which lets him go for an instant fireball, which you need to do for this combo. So it's smarter than it looks. It's actually a very smart combo. The second one, he didn't set himself up for the Hugo chicken. But it was going to kill, so it didn't matter. You can partition that fireball as well. And if you partition it, you don't need to do the, you know, you can just charge some of it before you jump over and charge the rest of it after you jump over. And it's actually a fairly easy partition, but partitioning in and of itself is hard. Theo stands strong. This is a good matchup for Oro. I run Super 2 in this matchup as well. Oh, wake up stomp. Alex doesn't have a lot of confirms like that, so it's not going to ruin one of Alex's confirms, but it does get you out of a command grab. And you're probably not risking that much besides that, because most of his stuff isn't... What the hell is this? Ah, that I see. So most super setups with Oro, I don't know why he did this combo. He could have just done the regular ass B&B. Most super setups with Oro have super as the last hit to prevent a quick stand. So Alex actually can quick stand out of this setup, but he won't quick stand out of the setup because the super's still 4 hits and because Oro still gets the Oki either way because of the delayed fireball hit like that. This Oro jump will catch Alex whether he quick stands or not. So it didn't matter. And now he's just doing the regular ass setup. He actually did it a little wrong. Nice. I wonder who this Oro is, but the name is just so small. I can't read it. Jump jab? No. He still had 2 hits from the super. But hard to get a good unblockable there. Very easy to parry out. Oh, that was unsafe. It should have been no. Well, he did end up being really good. But only because Alex fucked up. So that was punishable, that overhead. And he ended up catching Alex jumping. And then this, okay, hold on, let me list the count. He gets anti-air stand strong, which is 3. Okay. 6 is the cutoff, generally speaking. 3, 4, 5. So if he does stand strong at the super, the stand strong will get 6, and then the super will whiff. So he doesn't have like an unblockable setup like that. So what he should probably do is just a 2-hit strong here, and then cancel that to super, and then go for a Crota setup. Because that gives him like a 50-50 into an unblockable. But what he does instead is he does the 2 hits into the EX Fireball, which is an unblockable the opponent can just quick stand out of, which is not as good because, you know, there's no reason not to quick stand here. But the Alex doesn't actually end up going for the quick stand, but then he ends up not spacing it right. So, like, kind of stupid on both players' parts. Or had something much better there if he just canceled the super. Nice. Daring. He who dares wins. Tangerines are not even that great. They're only as good as oranges, and they're not even as good as oranges because they're smaller and I want more, not less. The flavor might be better, but honestly it's like almost the same. If oranges were easier to eat, they would probably be as good as apples. I think the flavor is a little bit better than apples. But it's kind of annoying to peel an orange. None of them can touch the objective superior quality of grapes. Grapes are super easy to eat and bursting with flavor. And the flavor is really good. Grapes win again. He had a flash kick there, I think. Apples are fucking the most popular fruit in the world, I think. Don't hate on apples. Pears are fine too. Apples are solid as fuck. If you don't like apples, you've probably just been eating shitty apples. Probably been having Red Delicious. Go buy yourself a Fiji. Or a Gala. Gala are fine too. Go buy yourself a Granny Smith. Go buy yourself a Honey Crisp. Honey Crisp is a nice apple. Tangerines and mandarins are theoretically different. Imagine being a Remy player and then just having the fuddy on. Might as well kill yourself. Surprised he did as well as he did. That matchup sucks. Suddenly it's not fun either. Remy kind of gets steamrolled by the whole top tiers. And also every other character. Remy's okay. I'm being mean about him. He's not bottom tier. His weaknesses are very apparent, but his strengths are there as well. He's kind of combo friendly, which is nice. The only melons I ever eat are honeydew and cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is pretty great. Honeydew is kind of boring, but pairs well with certain foods. I guess I have watermelon too. Ooh, nice. Jan's SA1 doesn't need buffs. It's already good. His SA3 needs nerfs. Jan's SA1 is sincerely like no worse than Shinshoryu. If anything, it's better because the setups are better than Ryu's. He can actually confirm that shit with this command grab or his target combo. What does Ryu have? He's got parries. Ooh, he was whiffing stance trying to get across the screen, but he ran into a crouch forward. Did he get that? That's hard to do. Didn't get it. By a nice corner. Ooh, he had to land a dash punch. Not all of his normals were gonna whiff there. Oh, this is a strong starter. Oh, wait, go back. He must have known that round was already over. I'd rather see this matchup though. Super 1 Makoto, Super 2 Oro. Both of those are acceptable here. Makoto doesn't have a touch of Dizzy on Oro because he's got a big boy stun bar. Empty jump low. How do you call this fruit? Let's have a look at that fruit. Oh, that's the that. That's that melon. I know about that melon. That's the cantaloupe. It's like not a cantaloupe, right? There's like something that's like a cantaloupe, but there's a trick to it. I remember cantaloupes having a different outside. But that looks a lot like cantaloupe meat. Maybe you can call that meat. There's like a bunch. Fuck, melons are hard. What's the one in Yoshi's Story? Anyone remember that game? There's like a thing that looks a lot like that, but it has like a green inside. It's like a Japanese melon. We don't even have that over here. It's like not a honeydew. It's got like, it doesn't look like a honeydew on the outside. Whoa. It's like related to the honeydew. But it's not actually a honeydew. I could find the name for it if I like googled around a little bit. It's definitely not a durian. Time out while I look up melons on the internet. It's this odd creature. So this is the thing that I would call a honeydew. Okay. This is the creature that I Whoa, that link ended up being super nasty. Hold on, let me try that again. There you go. That's what I would call a honeydew. And this is the Japanese melon. Shizuoka. There are a lot of melons, and a lot of them are super similar to each other. Whoa. Now I want to look at the outsides of cantaloupes. Timeout. Maybe that was just a plain ass cantaloupe and I forgot. Maybe it's been a long time since I bought a cantaloupe and cut one open. Something about this isn't striking my memory. I remember having a smooth cantaloupe, but it looks like the ridgy cantaloupes are the normal ones. I had something that was like a honeydew on the outside, but like a cantaloupe on the inside. And that's the last time I had a cantaloupe, which is actually a while ago. Well, I mean, I have cut up cantaloupe every now and then. In fact, that's how I almost always have it. Hokkaido muskmelon. Muskmelon was the name I knew the Japanese melon by. That's familiar. I just couldn't call it to memory. Melons are Yoshi's favorite food. Yoshi's Story would be an extremely good platformer if all you had to do was get from the beginning of the stage to the end. The fruit never should have been a mechanic. Also, it should have been marginally harder. And then it would have been a pretty good game. Also, the heart mechanic probably shouldn't have been in the game at all. You probably should have just been able to choose between 4 levels each playthrough. Or even better, imagine if each level had like 4 different, 3 different exits, 4 different exits. Yeah, mango fruit is real tough. And kind of stringy too. You can easily get stuck between your teeth. But the flavor is super duper good. Is this a Q? Q versus Yun is one of my favorite matchups in this game. Along with Hugo versus Yun. I feel like this the big and slow is such an underdog. But it's actually not that bad of a matchup in either case. Well, it's not like Yun Q is good. It's probably a 6-4, maybe a 7-3 in Yun's favor. But it's winnable. It's extremely winnable for the Q player. Same with Hugo, except Hugo's actually more fair. This jump pressure. Look at that. This is the state of this matchup. This is what it's like to fucking fight Yun as Q. It's remarkably hard to stop Yun from jumping all over your face like that. The stand jab is probably your best answer, and that does very little damage. No red. He went for it. That's nice. You get a punish. I think Yun can just punish with light dash punch, right? Unless it's the light one. You can react which one it is based on the way that Q swings his hands. Red parry gets you bigger punishes though. It is a bit like, what's his face? Q is a bit like Gold Light Hand. Light on. There's like a lot of similarities that can be done there. It honestly, that's how he feels. You got normals that just cover not that much space and don't actually prevent the opponent from like moving around in front of you. And they're not that fast, and most of them aren't very rewarding. But then some of your attacks just instantly destroy the opponent. It's a lot like Gold Light Hand. We got another giant. Okay, here we go. No, go back. What the fuck? Give me the aura. We're watching Chun-Li instead of Makoto aura. It's not fair. Let's watch it, but Chun-Li versus Chun-Li is the worst matchup in this game. For both entertainment and demonstrations of technical skill. It's honestly really hard to do something really skillful with Chun-Li. She has like a few kind of skillful things. It's not like stand right now into super is free. It's not like low forward into super confirm is free. But if you practice even a little bit, you'll be able to get both of them reliably, even if you're like a not super good player. Nice whip punish. And that's like most of the really technical stuff Chun-Li has to do. And then when you like, there really isn't that much else. Storing lightning legs is kind of technical, and she does have to do that. Being able to efficiently do punish combos is something that's very technical that she usually doesn't have to do. Tor versus Q is fun to watch. Q has like bad enough neutral that you get to see 12 show off a lot, but also it's like a reasonably fair matchup. If anything, it's good for Q. Back card punches her palm if we're talking about third strike. I don't know how good of an anti-air it is. It's okay. Aura doesn't care about it. So it's not a good anti-air against me. It does build meter, and it is pretty obnoxious in neutral. Beefy damage. Like, honestly, look how much damage that does. Makoto's like a high HP character. She's got the same HP as Ken, I think. But just look at this. Look at that chunk that this just removes. That jumping combo. Where does it start? Makoto's HP is here. Look at that. Literally took off like 50% of her life almost. I mean, back fierce is okay against other characters, I think. So right there, that's kind of cute. We just saw something fancy. Let me see it again. 1, 2, 3, and then he did medium. If you get 3 hits of air EX Tatsu, you can't do a double DP. Because the light DP is 3 as well. So that means that you only get 1 uppercut, and medium does a little bit more damage than light. He recognized that he got 3 hits, and then he went for the medium DP. So the light DP. That's right. Just kill? Not quite. EX Fireball Super? Nope, he's not even taking it. I would do it. Just do it. Fuck it. Nope. You know what he should have done there? He should have parried the last hit and then taunted and have the taunt kill Makoto. That was the correct play. Ken's taunt does about the same damage as a light normal, which is very, very low. It'll basically only kill the opponent if they have no visible life left. But that's how light normals are too. Remy versus Chun-Li, this is a bad match. Remy's neutral is not horrible against Chun-Li, but she can bypass a lot of... Ooh, yeah, get some meter. Actually, even if you're parrying that, getting a punish on it is very difficult. But every parry builds meter, so... And, you know, there's no mix-up to those parries. You just time them. Just keep on parrying. Chun-Li can't alter the timing of her mashed legs. She can only stop doing it. They always come out at the same speed regardless of how Chun-Li mashes. The only thing that mashing does is change how long it lasts. I didn't even know that was a thing. Remy just anti-air with close fierce and it didn't reset. It knocked over. I didn't know about that. What? That's a thing? Remy's close fierce anti-air is a knockdown? Weird. It looked like he had a juggle too. Baff killed Wednesday Night Fights? Oh, Third Strike Wednesday Night Fights? I won, like, all but one? All but two? Of the Third Strike tournament. I mean, you know, I didn't even show up to one of them. I won all but one of the Third Strike tournaments at Wednesday Night Fights, and then they stopped having them. I always play pad, but I was playing on an irregular pad, and it hurt my execution quite a bit. I was also playing Third Strike Anniversary Edition, 30th, and that has no macros for multiple punches, so I was doing my multiple punches manually, which I'm not very good at. And I play a character who has EX supers on multiple punches. So because of that, I couldn't reliably get 5-stone super cancels, so what I did was I just ran Super 2 in every matchup. And that's okay because Aura Super 2 is like debatably his best super in every matchup. Except for maybe Twins. And maybe Akuma. Anyway, even with these deficits I did extremely well because I'm a good player. These handicaps, accurately. I do shoulder plus face, but even that's not super reliable. Blood speed games are good. Quite a lot of depth. That's kind of true. Yang matches end fast. One way or the other. Whoa, what the fuck? What was his launcher there? Was that close medium kick? Oh, it's palm. I missed it while I was looking at the chat. That makes a lot more sense. Close medium kick does cancel the super, but it doesn't cancel the super. So what you have to do is you have to do close medium kick and then super jump cancel it and then super before you leave the ground. Close medium kick naturally launches and just juggles into super though. You don't have to do that to combo super from a close medium kick. Nice. Super 2 is a little better than people give it credit for. It's unbelievably risky. Yang is very, very punishable on the way down. You can get like a full jump in on him. But it's a bit specific to use, and most Yangs just fuck around with his EX Rekkas because they're a lot safer and still do really good damage and stun. But Super 2 does some kind of interesting things. I don't remember if it goes through fireballs. It might, but that's not something you need to do. It anti-air is okay, although if it gets parried, you die. It's crafted. Long time no high. Nice link. Since strong, far short. It's a fairly easy link. Far short only combos into EX Rekkas, or I think super. I don't remember which supers it works with. I don't think it works with Super 1. And I don't think it works with Super 2. And Super 3 is an activate, so maybe it doesn't go into Super. Alright. Bye. That reminds me I need to play. After this I need to play some Omega Dan and get my bearings on what he does. Oh. If it's a perfect meaty, then not even EX mirror will come out. But the light, medium, and heavy mirrors are fairly easy to beat. Nice double meter, double super. The first one was to build charge, and the second one was to do some damage and set up an unblockable if it didn't kill. Or set up corner carry more accurately in that context, I guess. Mirror has like the perfect super meter. It's like long enough that it's not cheap, but it's short enough that you'll get it pretty frequently. And 2 of them is the right number to hold. If you could hold 3, it would be pretty fucking broken. If you could hold 1, it wouldn't be very good. Mirror is the super that every super wishes it could be in this game. Because it's super duper, super complex, super deep, super strong, but not enough to break the character. Fundamentally, costing meter is what prevents it from being broken, which is how super should work. But there's so many different avenues of mirror being useful. Dun dun dun. You build a meter for the third mirror so easily on hit. If you block your way out of 2 mirror mix-ups, then there's no third mirror. But if one of the 2 mirror mix-ups works, Urian can build the meter pretty easily. And if both of the mirror mix-ups works, he already has the third mirror. I feel like that's perfect. That's exactly how it should work. Urian's overheads aren't actually that good. If you're in the corner, you can spot your way out of a, it's like not too hard to spot your way out of a 50-50. Just reacting to his overheads. The mirror gave him a... Oh no! Ryu bounced the fireball back in his own face. The mirror gave Hirian time to shake out of the stun. That's pretty sexy. He dropped it! What a choke. What an absolute choke. What a complete choke. Crouch Fierce. 2, 3. He can do anything here. He can literally do anything. He goes for another tackle and drops it. He could have just hit Stand Fierce. He didn't even need charge or anything. That was a punish, I think. Pretty sure Shotos can pretty easily punish Urian's block tackles with low forward or low roundhouse. That can be really hard for certain characters to punish, but Shotos have a really good medium range. I don't like the way he's doing these dungeons set up smooth screen. Either get the Oki, or oh, here's an unblockable. Yep. He went for the throw. And it killed. Giffen SF5 is currently weak-ish. I would maybe call him bottom 5. I don't know if I would call him bottom 3. His neutral is still pretty good, but he has to take a lot of risks. And his neutral used to lead to stuff, and now it's not. No, it doesn't. Vega's my bottom 1. It won't be everyone's. You also see Ryu as bottom 1. And some people say Falk, and some people say Ed. I feel like there's another character who I'm forgetting. I don't believe Falk is bottom 1. I feel like she's probably bottom 5, but also probably not bottom 3. Ed might be bottom 3, but it's hard to say. I don't even think fucking Sakura is bottom half. I guess she probably is bottom half. But a lot of people say Sakura is like a super bad character, but I don't think so. I think Sakura is like mid. New characters haven't been announced, but Capcom has said that they've got up to 5 seasons planned. But season 4 is not actually confirmed yet. I doubt they're just gonna stop anyway. Sagat and G just came out. You know about them? They're pretty great. Pretty much everyone seems to love both of them. There's a general opinion that Sagat could be a bit stronger. But people are really digging G. That's a really good anti-air. Caught the little dive kick. Oh no, the confirm. Low short chains, and you can just cancel chains in this game. Cop out? I don't think so. It's definitely G is unmistakably a reference to Q, but I don't think it's more like they wanted an opportunity to try something new, and the new thing they're trying is pretty cool because it spiritually feels a little bit like Q, but it's much better done. Q like incidentally ended up being an interesting character, but G is like on purpose an interesting character. Q getting the taunt permanently wasn't like a problem, but I like the way that G has the buffs, but then you can remove them from him. It feels good for both players. It feels good for G to be able to get buffs, and it feels good to be able to take G's buffs away. Mechanically, he's fun to play and fight. We don't know G's tier. No one knows G's tier. A lot of people say high, but it's hard to say. He's probably not lower bottom anyway. But he's probably not top 1. He's probably not top 5. But he could be. He really could be. Snake Eyes is still playing SF5. Last I saw he was playing Goki, but I think he has another character too. I want to say he has 2 characters, but I forget who the other one is. He does have a Geef still, but a lot of people who would be Geef players are currently not playing Geef. I was jumping against Low Tier God because he was doing a lot of committal stuff, and he had demonstrated that he couldn't anti-air. Or that he wasn't, rather. It's not like G's anti-airs are even bad. V-skill works pretty reliably, and Crouch Fierce is actually good. I don't know about actually good. It's not amazing hitting over your head. The lateral range could be a bit better in both directions. But it is upper body invincible, and that's the most important thing for an ATR. I definitely did a lot of jumps that could be beaten by it. But, like, I hit a lot of stuff that he was doing that was just committal, you know? Like sweeps and whatnot. That's a reasonably optimal starter. I don't think I've ever seen that loop. Stamrano's palm. There's actually a follow-up to all the stuff that Low Tier God. I haven't documented it. I considered it, and then I was like, I don't care. But I went into one of Low Tier God's streams and challenged him again. And a little bit of nonsense arose from that. He pretended to not know who I was. Well, maybe he really didn't know who I was. That's something that definitely could have happened. But he was subscribed to me on YouTube for a really long time. He's not anymore. So he probably knows who I am, you know. But also, you can just sub to someone on YouTube and then still, you can unsub later and then you can not remember who they are. That's like a thing that could happen. My content isn't like super associated with my name. You know what I mean? I don't start every video with like, yo, what's up, guys? This is Buffale, or any nonsense like that. So he could have forgotten or not known or whatever. Anyway, he acted like he was gonna. He at first it was like, hey, play me, and he's like, I only play people for $15, and I didn't want to pay the $15. And I was like, someone here, like, pay Low Tier God $15 so I can play him, and then no one did. But then everyone in the chat was like, hey, this is Fafale, he's like a super cool guy, you should actually play him. And then like he was kind of being pressured into it. And he almost started playing me, and it was like, I'm not gonna play you with like Urian, I'm gonna play you with G or whatever. And he like started, he told me to invite him to his lobby, and I'm like, I can't because you blacklisted me. I like tried a few times and he wasn't getting the invites. And it's like, oh, I turned the invites off, and then he went and looked, and then it turned out his invites were on. So it's just because of the blacklisting. And then he pretended to watch my video for the first time. you know, it looks like I'm the low tier god now. Someone like told him to watch the first video on my channel, and then he watched it and he's like, "No, you're just clout chasing. I don't want to play you." But I know for a fact that he already saw the video on my channel because he left a comment on it like 2 days prior, and then he deleted the comment. And then, like 2 days later, he watched the video and acted like it was his first time ever seeing the video. But I have like a screenshot of the comment. So, like, you know. He just ducked me, basically. And that was that. The comment was... I don't remember it word for word, but he said that, in the like 1 month that he'd been playing G, in the 2 weeks he'd been playing G, he already got to a higher rank than I did, like, in all the time I'd been playing the game, and that I was like a nobody or something like that. And then I replied to the comment with good games, or like thanks for the games or something like that. And then he deleted the comment. To be 100% honest, I was trying to catch another game with him just for the memes, but I wasn't trying to rip on him or anything. I wasn't trying to, like, you know, I would have said some nice stuff about him if he actually got the game. If he actually got the games against me. I'd probably been like, you know, I've always kind of liked, you know, I've always kind of liked low tier god as a heal. He's an important member of the FGC. A lot of people, I feel like he really is. A lot of people are like, we could do without people like low tier god, and maybe we could do without people like low tier god specifically. But I do, if you know a heal is putting it on, it's not as good. You know what I mean? I feel like we need more rivalries and dumb shit like that in the FGC. And I sincerely cannot tell where the acting starts and stops with low tier god. He could just be a fuckboy. Okay, I like that's technically a possibility. I think he's faking it a little bit. I think he is volatile, low tier god, but I think he makes himself much more volatile than he actually is, you know? I think, yeah, he just exaggerates. But I don't know. That's the thing, you know? I don't know for sure. And if I did know for sure, it wouldn't be as good. If he was just pretending to be mean, or pretending to be the bad guy, it wouldn't be as nice. So I like that low tier god is out there doing his thing, and I wish more people were like that. But, like, you don't need to be a shitty person, too. Like, low tier god bad-mouthing people is good in my book. Low tier god throwing out copyright strikes is bad in my book. You get the difference there? We need heals like the former. Is infiltration a heal? Can you get to be a heal just by beating your wife? Is that enough? I feel like that's not related to fighting games, and I don't want to say you can be a heal if your evilness is not related to fighting games. Or like the FGC community or anything. No, we don't have facts yet, I think. I could be wrong. There might be facts, and I just don't know them. But I think they're just allegations as it stands. And I don't even know if it's wife beating. I mean, court documents doesn't mean a conviction. I don't think Sonic Fox is a heel. Sonic Fox, he's like a little smug, but he's also nice. So I wouldn't call that healing, you know? He's like confident, like aggressively confident. I don't think being a furry makes you a heel. That's like weird, but it's not like bad. I parry into crutch jab. That was his plan on not dying. Damn, I got called out. Is my persona a sloth or what? Being the man to beat and being a heel are different things. Daigo ain't no heel. Not even Super Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 4 Daigo is a heel. Good lord, really? I get that Evo would be important to him, but I didn't know he blamed anyone. Or let alone that even if he did blame his wife, that he would do something like that. Good lord. Alright, let's watch more Third Strike instead of not watching Third Strike. Yurian Yurian? Classic. Yurian's Fireball has kind of surprisingly good recovery, especially for the upward ones. That was a punish. That canceled the taunt. Taunt has really good pushback. It's also a low, so you have to block low. There's no conversion from the taunt or anything. He was early on that. EX tackle is supposed to get 2 hits there. It can be really hard on certain characters. You have to hit the EX tackle basically as deep as possible. Mirror match. It's super late. EX has to be like... Doing the EX tackle at all against Doro, you have to hit it on the last frame. On a lot of characters, you have to hit it on the last few frames. Yeah, if it's an anti-air up fireball and you jump in and parry it, Urian can still anti-air you. And if you get hit by an anti-air fireball, good lord, he can literally take off half your health. Like meterless. Or maybe 1 EX. Anti-air is the best parry for... I mean, anti-air parry is the best anti-air for most characters in the game. Urian has a couple other anti-airs, but they're not super impressive. Crouch Fierce is okay. Hard Kick is not that good, actually. Towards Strong is okay. Stand Strong is okay. Street Fighter 5 Urian, it's Hard Kick. Headbutt is not a very good anti-air. Not having an anti-air is a lot less of an issue than you would think in this game, though. Because the universal mechanics allow for anti-airs. HK is tall. It's just not that fast. And the angle could be a bit better. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is after a parry, you can anti-air with anything. Anti-air parry into stand strong is a decent anti-air. That was an anti-air light headbutt. Yeah, preemptive hard fireball. It's really not that risky. It's hard for a lot of characters to whiff punish that. Urian's forward throw and back throw are the same animation. But he's got a mash neutral throw. Fun fact, twins take a little bit longer to fall after a neutral throw because they're small. He has to pick them up like higher for their necks to be in his hand. And because of that, Urian can do a mash neutral throw and then combo an EX mirror on twins. I don't think it works on anyone else, but it works on twins. It might work on like a Buki. It's a very cool looking combo, but it's like purely combo video material. Technically speaking, it does do quite high damage out of a throw, especially if you've got the opponent cornered and you can actually get a conversion out of it. Love me some Elena. Anti-air, stand forward, curious. That's like weird hurtboxes in general. That's one of the reasons I don't like the standard hurtbox of the SF5. EX SA2. It does more damage than any other thing SA2 Oro has for a single like attack, for a single combo. Chicken combo into EX SA2 into follow-up combo does more damage than anything, while also not allowing for the opponent to parry out. So it's not useless, it's just expensive. It's like not actually that bad at all. It's also good for chipping the opponent out because the parry is fucking hard, and even if the opponent's parrying it, you can just dash in and like throw them or something. But honestly, using EX SA2 to chip is good, but using a bunch of regular SA2s to chip is better. Because there's no limit to how many SA2s you can put on the screen. So you can just do like 3 light ones if you want to. And that's a pretty annoying parry. Yuri and Tech to theoretical car throw, but then Elena missed the car throw. Kind of funny. That was a well-spaced mirror. Oh, that was a failed hard tackle, I think. 50-50. Elena got the block. Oh, it's healing. I didn't even look. He's back in this. He can totally win this now. The OTC. Let's jump strong towards fierce. Or it might just be jump strong fierce. Dark skin, white hair, bikini. I see it. Oh, that's punishable, I think. I think Elena can punish it with like a poke. That tackle from that range. But instead he went for a dash in throw, which I don't think is a punish, but also has better positioning and stun and damage. Oh no, he went for the jump roundhouse combo, but he dropped it. Jump roundhouse has quite a lot of hit stun. So does jump fierce. Elena has good air normals, I guess. I like good in general. Healing? He went for the full heal, baby. He got it too. Healing is so much more fair in this game. It's really just cheap in Street Fighter 4. In this game, about half the heal happens during the super freeze. So she's guaranteed to get that much, like basically no matter what, unless she's just beaten by like a meaty. In the game's development, Makoto was planned to be Ryu's little sister. But they backed down. And then she was planned to be Goken's daughter and or granddaughter, and then they backed down again. But technically speaking, they have not deconfirmed the relationship between Goken and Makoto. Technically speaking, it could be possible. It's not ruled out. There's a little evidence for and no evidence against. There's a little evidence against. They don't seem to recognize each other for their wing quotes in Street Fighter 4. Hi. I think it'd actually be really cool if you could do, like, let's say in Street Fighter 5, let's say Laura's Thunderclap into Super. I think it'd be really cool if you did something like a particular string, the Super would bump off the opponent instead of just whiffing. And that bump did like 30 chip or something like that. Because I do think it's kind of weird that you can't use... I mean, it makes sense that you can't use command grab supers to chip, but like every other super has this component of like V reversals versus chip versus like, you know, being able to secure kills with like block strings if the opponent's already in V trigger or something like that, or if they have no V meter. But like 3 characters just can't do that. So I wish they had just some sequence that just allowed them to do that. If Zangief could just do like Lariat cancel the super and it would give you a unique super that bumped off the opponent and just did a little bit of chip damage, but it didn't combo on hit or anything. Feels bad. Is this it? There we go. Look at that. That's you. How do you have this emote? Imagine just having an emote of your own head. Feels Bathman should have been Bath help. Why am I watching nothing again? We missed the first 2 seconds of this match. When's the next emote? When's Bath Lollydab? I think that's the next emote. I have room for another emote. If I had a Bath Lollydab, I would definitely add it. That reminds me, S-Ride, Apocalypse wanted to play some MVCI today. Oh no. Not too bad. Young got a decent meter for that. Look at all these bizarre emotes. Some of those are mine. What's going on here? I don't like this one. Is that like a whole cat? It's just a piece of it. There's the other one. I like this one a lot. That's a good emote right there. Nice. That only does a little bit more damage than like a record combo, despite costing a whole super bar. That emote really makes me want some Doritos TM brand corn chips. Doritos do it right. Jumping out of throws. Wake up jump you don't see very often in this game. Look at that. Look, make it stop. Look at that whole sequence. Anti-air close medium kick, and as a safety measure, if it's parry, he just jumps out. It's like more than a safety measure. He also gets a combo on hit. And then he parries, seeing that he was parried. He parries on the way up. And then he's coming down, and he had to... Ken anti-aired him. He had to parry on his way down. Super? Yep. He takes it. Nice whiff punish. Oh, he went for meaty palm. Meaty palm was pretty daring there. He didn't have bar at the time though, I think. For an EX record chip. I think that's pretty risky. All of your specials are high parry. So if you're anticipating a chip, you don't have to anticipate too much. You have to anticipate the starter. Nice. That's it as you can. Oh no. I think he might have had close medium kick there. There wouldn't have been a punish, because Ken didn't commit to anything. Oh, Ken was mashing. That was I don't know how many EX recas you can do before they're minus enough for super to punish. But Ken literally just started mashing Super 3, looking for a window. You can't mash Super during box jinx in this game, you just get hit. So he started that he blocked all those, like he actually blocked them all. And then he did the Super for the fourth one or whatever. Oof. Big oof. Tricky cross through. And then he just goes to the throw. If you see a cross through like that, you're probably looking for a block or a parry. This chat once had a discussion about which Pokemon they would fuck. So, Lopunny is like... It's like 4-2 or something. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying. Imagine. Gardevoir is like 5-3. Not very Imagine at all. Ooh, I would have done that exact same thing and also gotten punished. Jinx? I might fuck Jinx. But I wouldn't enjoy it. Put a paper bag over its head. You gotta be careful with Jinx, because if Jinx kisses you, you fall asleep. 75% of the time. It might only be 70, it might only be 65% of the time. I don't remember. Someone look up Lovely Kiss. Can you like, I don't even know where to get Jinx in any game. In Gen 1 you get a Jinx traded to you, and I don't know, I don't know how to get any of the Jinxes. Smoochum's in like Gen 2, right? No, Smoochum was later, wasn't it? I don't remember when they added Smoochum. It might have been Gen 4. I feel like it wasn't, but it might have been. I feel like it was too. I don't know. I don't know when Smoochum was added. I don't even know if you can catch Smoochum in the wild or anything. You probably had to breed for it. I can't think of that many babies you can catch in the wild. Gen 4 had Badoo. And I think there's been Munchlaxus in the wild. But most babies you can't find in the wild. Most babies you have to breed for. You can catch Riolu in Black and White too. Is Riolu a baby? No, it's not. Riolu's not a baby. Nice punish. Green and white one that's psychic. That's Gardevoir. Saanaito. There have been a bunch of grass-type Pokemon that are theoretically fuckable. Roselia and Roserade are theoretically fuckable, I guess. Roselia is a lot smaller than what you think. Most people do not realize how tiny Roselia is. Someone pull up information on how big Roselia is, and be alarmed. I want to say it's like a foot tall. It looks from its sprite like it would be like 3 or 4 feet tall, but it's actually like tiny. Badoo is even smaller. Nice. 0.3 meters. Roserade's only 211. I thought Roserade was a more normal size. I didn't realize Roserade was that tiny. But I knew the other two were tiny. 211 is a bit smaller than Imagine. Megumin's like 4'9". That was a punish. Machoke 50-50 female, male female. I'm just throwing that out there. Just putting that out for everyone to think about. Nice punish in the EX tackle. That was actually really cool. Yurin doesn't have great punishes there. Machoke is 4'11". Machoke would pick you up and find things to fuck you over. Milk Tank. Read that name again. Do we have confirmation yet that Miltank and Tauros are the same species? I feel like we don't. They should make it so Miltank can give birth to Tauros. They did that with a bunch of other Pokemon. Like, Illumise can give birth to Volbeats. That was a red parry. Low block, second hit, high parry is very good against Ken's meaty options. Nidoqueen and Nidorina cannot have babies, even now. It's a glitch that's never ever been fixed. I could not tell you why. At first I thought it was because it's a Pokemon that gives birth to two different Pokemon where neither of the two Pokemon are it. And there was just some bug associated with that because no other Pokemon's like that. Because Nidoran female can give birth to Nidoran female or Nidoran male. But Nidoqueen would give birth to Nidoran female or Nidoran male, and it's like those are two different Pokemon that aren't Nidoqueen. So I figured it was like just the game being confused. But Nidoking can give birth to, if you breed it with a Ditto, it can give birth to either Nidoran. And if it was just a bug, they still haven't fixed it. What Pokemon would I eat? Miltank is confirmed in universe to be delicious. And so is Farfetch'd. So I guess either of those. Nice. He actually parried both hits. I never ever do. I always just parry the first hit and then go straight to the punish. The two hits are super far apart, so the parry timing is kind of weird. But you can just interrupt, so you don't have to wait. Slowpoke tail. Yeah, I do the slowpoke tail. I would definitely eat a Vanillish. Nice punish. That was really good awareness. Ooh. Oddish seems like it might be good. Might be a tasty Pokemon. That's kind of an interesting thing that just happened. It's like common, but like if you didn't know about the mechanics of this game. So you see how he gets air reset by this jump fierce, and then he lands on the mirror and gets hit? That's because the JP was still below 6, and you can get, if the JP is still below 6, you can still get air reset to supers. 6 isn't actually a hard number there. It depends on when the super hits. But the point is, his JP was still, he hadn't become invincible yet, but like you're always invincible to everything on an air reset except supers in this game. So he lands into the super, and that whole thing doesn't actually reset your juggle potential, like it just keeps on building. Whoa, hi. What? Yes I am. My brother wanted to show me something. Is there a gun Pokemon yet? I want to say yes, but I can't think of one. But I want to say there's a gun Pokemon. There's a Pistol Shrimp. I mean, technically speaking, like, Blastoise isn't that far from a gun Pokemon. Remoraid's a gun Pokemon. Remoraid was literally a revolver when it was designed. And it still has elements of that. An Octillery was literally a tank when it was designed. Whoa, what's this? Why'd they change it? Remoraid is supposed to look part ways like a rifle and part ways like a fish. But it's kind of hard to see the rifle. It was much easier in the beta. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon states that Ammonite is Octillery's ancestor. That's fascinating. I can see it. They're both mollusks. I don't know where Remoraid falls into this though. Remoraid as an entire Pokemon probably shouldn't exist. I like that green text. I don't know if there's currently Pokemon that are better before they evolve. There have been here and there. Porygon 2 is usually regarded to be better than Porygon Z, and might still be. Because Porygon 2 can equip an Eviolite and Porygon Z can't. And bulky Porygon 2 is better than offensive S Porygon Z. And they both have like stats befitting a fully evolved Pokemon. Scizor used to be as good as Scyther, and or rather Scyther used to be as good as Scizor, but then they buffed the fuck out of Scizor. And now Scizor's much better. Gen 4 was Apology Edition for Scizor. Scizor had a hard life in Gen 2 and Gen 3. And then Gen 4 was just like, hey, why don't you have everything? Here's Superpower that Scyther doesn't get. You can have it. Here's Bullet Punch. Scyther doesn't get it. You can have it. Here's Technician. No, Scyther does have Technician, I think. Here's Bulk. Here's fucking... I don't know, there was something else. I forget what. There's like something else it got. But Technician Bullet Punch was pretty nasty. Alamomola and Love Disc are not related. Although they probably should be. Love Disc's entire purpose is to give the player heart scales. That's it. That's all Love Disc is for. That's all it does. Yeah, but it turns into a bug flying with Hydro Pump. You've got good options for water bugs now, don't complain. There are several cool water bugs now. Can't believe some people are so ungrateful. Nice combo. Nice combo. Let's add grass water. That hit midair, so she has less struggle potential. That was an unblockable, but it didn't work for whatever reason. Well, it did work, but that doesn't normally lock down like that. Yeah, there's a backup. It's DiCaprio, DJ, and Dan. Oh yeah, Vigoroth is probably still better than Slacking. That's sad, but it's probably true. Both of them are painfully mediocre. Slacking is actually great, but it's literally destroyed by the move Protect, and also is guaranteed to give your opponent a setup. Am I saying Omega DJ but not Omega Dan and Omega DiCaprio because they're just as silly? This is the last one. Well, this is the last one we're adding characters. We'll have a few more after this. I don't know how many, just until people stop entering. We'll have more where there's no character restrictions at all. And it's just play Omega. But I might open up Ultra as well. I might make it so you can play as Ultra or Omega versions of characters. A lot of Urian's normals are punishable by Kenshipu, and that makes this matchup annoying. It's not super bad or anything, but like, that's a punish, and Stamranos is also punishable by Shippu. Slacking with huge power is like my worst fear. It already has like 160 base attack, we don't need huge power too. Any variation doesn't actually do anything. For a lot of characters, the Ultra version is the best version. All it does is allow for fucking Aeon, Super Kami, and Vanilla Sagat. And no one wants any of those. I guess it also adds fucking Super Honda. Vanilla Akuma. Super Guile. There's another big one. It's Vanilla Gen. He's not like amazing, but he is different from New Gen. No, but we still don't want any of those characters. Most characters just got buffed 4 versions in a row. Like if you look at like Guy, I think A Guy is better than Super Guy. A 2012 is better than that. Ultra's better than that. Same with Makoto. Same with like Dudley, I think. 8 on. Vanilla Rog. Vanilla Rog is goodish. He doesn't change that much. He's one of the least changed characters. Makoto got one of the best buffs ever in Ultra, which was the EX Fukiage buff. She might have had a nerf somewhere, but EX Fukiage literally changed the whole character. There were like no significant Makoto players until Ultra, and then there was like Misei and maybe someone else. She got an Ultra 2 nerf at some point. I don't know if it was Ultra or AE 2012, but they made it so you couldn't do reversal Ultra 2. If Yun empty jumped, he might have not had to parry that. But it was such an awkward situation. Because that mirror was just sitting there. I wouldn't mind if they just made some updates to some of the older games. I don't even care if they're serious or not. If they just made Alpha 4 and it was just like, hey, we made Alpha 3 again, but we added some characters and fucked with the mechanics a little bit. Like Ultra Street Fighter 2. That's Stairman House. Well placed. Oh, you can tackle instead of the light kick there and it bounces them off the mirror again. Looks pretty badass. He had to do too much traveling to really get a good mix up there. He had to waste most of the mirror time, even getting close. I don't think he could have gotten an overhead and then comboed out of it. So his only option was to get a low and combo out of that, or get an overhead and not have a combo. And appropriately, Yun just blocked low. You have to consider stuff like that when fighting Urian. I don't know about any Castlevania announcements, except that Castlevania characters are going to be in Smush. Smush Ultimate. What is this kind of match? They still pick the same supers. What's the issue? I mean, I've played both of those games. So while that's cool, if they're not remakes and or a new game, then I don't care that much. Although those are the two best Castlevania games. Nice. Nice pickup. This should kill without any meter. What is the best classic Mania then, nerd? Is it Castlevania 1? That's probably the best one. Good lord, he got hit out of so many neutral jumps. 4? Bloodlines. '64 is probably the worst Castlevania. Or the one that came after 64 that was still on the 64. Legacy of Darkness? Is that it? I like how they cut to Yun versus, Aura versus Chun-Li. Why'd she jump away? That was a potentially suicidal decision. You can just punish that. You can just hit him. Chun-Li's playing with her food. All I know about Contra Hardcore is that it's the most expensive game in the universe. Oh, that's... The funny thing about that is that Chun-Li's super won't quite go full screen for like the tips of her feet. And yet it still will punish Oro full screen fireballs. Because Oro gets nice and wide when he throws fireballs. The Sorrow games are actually fantastic. There's literally nothing wrong with the Sorrow games. but they're not being discussed. The Sorrow games, like if you said that your two favorite Castlevanias were Arya and Dawn, that would not be a bad opinion. That would be an okay opinion. It's another Chun-Li Chun-Li. Yeah, just level up. Use status effects. Teach your Pokemon Toxic or Thunderwave. Status ailments work on bosses. The only Pokemon game that I found to be even a little bit difficult was Pokemon Black Card Mode. I found Gen 3 to be annoyingly difficult, but for the wrong reasons. It was more like the balance in the game was bad. But any Pokemon game you can just grind. I like this matchup. The Fire Starter is often the worst starter. The Water one's usually the safe pick for a relatively easy playthrough. Oh. And a full jump in punish. Oh, okay, we just saw. He cut down the combo. For a sec, I thought we were going to see an Elena drop a combo. There's a Fire Gym in DP. I don't remember that. I remember the fire Elite Four member who had fucking two Infernapes and a fucking Rapidash. There was two Rapidashes and an Infernape, and then two non-fire types. It's like a fucking Drift Blim or something. Fire's just very... Whoa, the TC! He anti-aired with Stand Fierce, and then the Stand Fierce was parried, so he went into the Stand Fierce Theranos TC to move himself out of the way. That was like low-key brilliant. You don't see that TC ever. Elena has like a few TCs that are mostly useless. Her air TCs are okay. In fact, they're pretty great. But Stand Forward Low Fierce is nearly useless, and the Fierce Roundhouse I would have said was useless. But we just saw it get used. Sin Strong is a good meaty because it's 2 hits. Fire types are just so inherently anti-life and anti like human like where do you put fire types in the games? That's the problem with fire types. Like what do you do with them? Where do you put Magmar? You just need to have a burned building every game. That's the only way. And there has been like a burned building every game. And that's where all the fire types always are. Like maybe you can find just a random fire type in like the grass somewhere. Oh. That double low short into low parry was super smart, but he couldn't get a punish off the successful parry. Pick the wrong normal. Auto what would have been good there. So every fire type ends up being super endgame. The fire starter is usually your one chance to get like a decent fire type. Meanwhile, every Pokemon game has 20 billion water Pokemon and like fucking a bunch of water routes and water on every other route. There are more water types than normal types. Lopunny, Drift, Blim, Steelix, plus Rapidash and Nape. Ooh, the RTC. You got the combo. Look at all that Dizzy. Pursue that shit. The Boogie actually has really cool Dizzy corner combos using a bunch of Garies. We might see one. Could happen. Easily could happen. Oh, he was looking for it too. He really wanted it. You can do a bunch of Garies in a row. Volcarona doesn't suck. What? Volcarona's a good ass mon. Volcarona's one of the best mons in the whole series. So what if it's quad weak to rocks? Quiver Dance is a great move. Fire Dance is a great move. Bug Buzz is just fine. You need to get kind of lucky with your hidden power though. It'd be nice to get hidden power rock or hidden power ground on your Volcarona. Volcarona gets Hurricane too. It's good as hell. I think it's UU right now. It's one of the best boosting mons ever. It's so threatening. In Gen 5 I remember distinctly, like, the one mon that could beat it was, like what rock types exist to knock it out? Like, yeah, you could get your Stealth Rocks up and there goes half its HP, but then what? The only rock types in OU were fucking Tyranitar and, Terrakion. And Tyranitar died to like a bug move. So you had to have a Scarf Tar. And even then, every rock move in the game had like a non-perfect accuracy, you know? And still does for the most part. Like, yeah, this Power Gem now. Nice Whiff Punish. Oh, not actually a nice Whiff Punish. You know, Stone Edge only has like 80% hit rate. Rock Slide only has 90% hit rate. And if you miss Volcarona and it dances, you're done. You are toast. Volcarona literally has like a 20% chance of just winning the match instantly, regardless of how things are going. Yeah, look at what Quiver Dance does, dude. It's a Calm Mind plus a speed boost. After a Quiver Dance, it can actually live through hella attacks. You can take a water move with +1 special defense and fucking Volcarona's bulk, which is actually not that bad. And then it's strong as hell. Volcarona's best bug. It really is like top 3 bugs in the whole game. Mega Scizor's better. Mega Pinsir is probably better. Genesect is better. So it's not really top 3. But there aren't that many bugs better than Volcarona. Hey, Mega Heracross might be better. Too close. He didn't have a super, I don't think. Beedrill is perhaps better. Beedrill was okay in Gen 6. In Gen 7, now that you get the speed immediately, it's pretty great. The problem with Beedrill is if Bug and Poison are both resisted, it's not very useful. Like, Drill Run's not that strong, and you don't get the adaptability boost. So it has a shit ton of attack and a shit ton of speed, and the adaptability boost is really good for its main 2 attacks. But if you can't use its main 2 attacks, if you're fighting like a poison type or something, or like a steel type. There's gonna be like a pure meme team. Let me look at it. Where's the link? You've got a pert. You'll be fine. You can literally solo the whole game with a pert. I like these names. E-Honda. I like that. That makes me happy. Why does your Swampert not have a nickname but every other Pokemon does? Lairon will be a lot better once it evolves, but honestly, it's not that good of a Pokemon in Gen 3. Hariyama's fine. Most of these mons are not that good, except for Swampert and what do you call this guy? They have all Trimish, Breloom. That was parry into Quetch Jab into Super. That's hard to do. Swampert. I like that. That's a good name. Yeah, everyone else is pretty low level compared to Swampert. Yeah, level up your Breloom and then you'll win. Breloom is nasty. Breloom has like 145 base attack or something. Teach it fucking Focus Punch and Substitute. And then you'll just beat the whole game. Teach it Rock Tomb and Mach Punch. And Bullet Seed. Those are moves that your Breloom should know. Seed Bomb. Perhaps, actually. Breloom is a really good single player Pokemon. You don't have to live through a hit if you kill them with your first attack. That's Breloom. That's Breloom's MO. Durant plus Hone Claws is actually pretty nice. It works nicely with Hustle. Durant is like 1 buff away from being a good mon. Hone Claws was like made for Durant. It's already fast as hell, so it doesn't need a speed boost. The attack boost is very nice. And the accuracy boost works well with Hustle. My brother just called me Gaijin. It's Gaijin. It means foreigner. It means foreigner. It means outside person. That's literally what it means. Gaijin would be a good insult. Technically, it's Gaijin. Oh, EX Fukiaga didn't hit shit. If you looked at Fukiage, you would think it was the worst move in the universe. I'm surprised every time it lands. No, it's not EX2 time. But I might just leave this open for later. It might eventually become EX2 time. Oh yeah, that's big damage on Chun-Li. Oh my god, I didn't stun her. Oh, this is beyond over. They did everything in their power in Street Fighter 4 to make Fukiage a good move, and they did a pretty good job. But even then, like, you don't really use the medium and heavy one, I don't think. You might for some, like, Ultra 2 stuff. But I think you mostly use the light one as an A tier. I don't even need to say anything about the EX one. I'm pretty sure double Fukiage stuff still exists in Street Fighter 4, but it's usually not optimal. You'd rather just do the jump dive kick. Or, you know, axe kick. And get the corner carry and the juggles from that. I already watched it. I haven't put it on YouTube yet. If Yang ends his Rekkas on a small character with a heavy Rekka, it will often go through. He did it twice just now. Oh, he went... Yes! That was cool. That was crouching Yang. You have extra link timing there. So he did a dash punch. These are some of my favorite combos in the whole game. Linking into the dash punch and then comboing out of... Or comboing into the dash punch and linking out of it. Only works on crouching opponents. That was red parry, I think. Sand Fierce is 2 hits and thus requires 2 parries. Unless you go for parry into a very fast attack, such as the throw. Parry throw is like the perfect option to exist in the game. Because it's super unrewarding, but it has a much better success rate than parry normal. But like having to occasionally, like going for that risky ass parry that you're going for, and then taking such like a, you know, such a mediocre punish as throw. But the fact that it works even against like multi-hit moves and stuff like that, it's so much safer. The fact that it still techs throws. If the opponent goes for meaty throw and you go for OS parry into throw, you'll still tech them. It's so low risk, low reward. It's nice to have that middle option between, like, you know, defense and parry into punish. I think that's one of the things that I feel is missing from Street Fighter 5. There's no middle ground options in a lot of cases. It's just like a pure mix-up. There's just two things with mutually exclusive answers, but I want something that's like an answer in the middle. Oh, doesn't hit a lot of crouching characters. That EX upper. Or like rather it has to be insanely close. Jump light kick, I think. That's not a common thing to do. Look at all this meter that he has. Where'd he get all that back? Now he's almost got another super. He can almost do like TC into super. There it is. It really sucks to have to block anything as a Yun in Gene. Ooh, combo starter? He got it. And then he just went for sweep. That was weird. You never ever ever see sweep from Gene Yun. That dash punch at the end, it always works, but against certain characters or at certain ranges you need to Kara it. The Kara is from light kick. So you do quarter circle forward and then light kick Kara light punch. It's a pretty easy Kara. Oh, later. But because it's a Kara, people still, you know, occasionally mess it up. It's like pretty easy, but it's not so easy you can do it 100% of the time. Nice punish. Command grab will literally kill Chun-Li now. No, it probably won't. It might. It's gonna be close. No, it will. Oh no. Chun-Li can still win this. Good lord. And it's over. That Shin throw is too strong. Whoa. Oh, the Yun and the Ken. That stage looks so much more vibrant. It's one of the least vibrant stages in game, I feel. But against that fucking washed out picture of that Chun-Li and that Makoto on the Makoto stage. This bright Ken and this bright Yun look so much better. Yeah. Sometimes it gets the second up kick hit and sometimes it doesn't. I don't understand what the difference is. I don't like that activate. He made it work. I would have waited a little longer. Got it during a block string that he could actually get immediate follow-up pressure. I don't know if that was confirmed. Someone left a video just recently talking on my Ken third strike notes that it was confirmable. To this day, I still don't know. Could not tell you if Ken's Rollo forward is confirmable. I've seen a match. I've seen matches. I lost LA 25th in winner's bracket to a Yun who got 4 Genes in one round. I was trying to play it slow and safe. It was it wasn't Air, it was like the other really good Canadian Asian Canadian player. His name probably had a what the fuck was it? No, Young can play slow and safe. Young can only approach during Gene and still do really well. In fact, that's maybe the most effective way to play him. Here and there I did. Here and there he did. Anyway, I got smushed by Yun doing Yun stuff. He came in second overall. Chairithi, it was Chairithi. Thank you. He was actually super duper good. He clearly played third strike. It wasn't just like he dusted himself off before the tournament. He didn't have to like learn the game. He already knew the game. I felt it while I was playing him. He was like one of the best players there. Only Mester was better. And wouldn't you know it, Mester and Chairithi were top 2. I could have beaten Chairithi on a good day. I got like a round on him. I lost like 2-1 and I got a round on him every game. It was bad luck. He was like maybe slightly better overall, and it was maybe a hard matchup. I don't know if Yun or I was actually a bad matchup, but I'm not very good at it, and it feels like a bad matchup to me. And I don't fight that many really good Yuns, but I did pretty well, all things considered. I did pretty well against Mester too. Oh my god, make it stop. He maybe should have gone for one more rep of that loop to get this done. It's hard to say though. Nice. I was tilted. In loser's bracket, I lost against Alex Valle, who's definitely good. But if I wasn't tilted, I probably would have beaten him. I don't know. He's no slouch. He's like a good player. Almost everyone acts like Alex Valle sucks at third strike. But every time I played him, he's been pretty good. So I don't see I don't know why everyone says that. Like, yeah, it's not his main game. But he's still like a smart-ass player. He plays very irregularly, which I think helps him a lot. He doesn't play like any Ryu I've ever played, or any Ken. When I played him in LA 25th, he played Ryu for the first match and I won pretty easily. And then he played Ken for the next 2 and I got beaten. It was like super close. But one of the reasons I was tilted was because I like asked someone whether Alex Valle was good at third strike, and it was literally like, no, not at all. And then I played him and he was doing pretty well, and I was like, and I just lost from like winner's bracket, and then waited a super long time. I hadn't just lost, but like Alex Valle was TOing, so it was literally like 3 hours between my loss and winner's bracket, my loss and loser's bracket, and I was just sitting waiting. Oh, she didn't get hit properly. Shame. I knew Alex Valle too. I'd like seen him on streams and stuff, and I was like pretty new to the FGC, and he was like a known name. And the way he was slamming on his stick didn't help either. It was pretty distracting. There were like a lot of things going into it. I did not play my best games though, but I remember those things specifically. Him slapping the fuck out of his stick, like honestly, like it did not help. That tournament I played on my normal controller because it was on PS3 and my normal controller works on that, so I didn't have any execution errors there. Now you're talking about a different tournament than me. I'm talking about the one in 2012. Ancient times. That one's not even recorded. I wonder what sloth dicks look like. Alright, I'm done wondering. PlayStation All-Star servers are still on. I wonder how many people play every day. Some things about PlayStation All-Stars I really thought were smart. I like the way the meter works. I like the way the combos work. I like the way the kill moves work. Those were all kind of cool. I didn't like the roster. That game should have been great. The thing about Smash Bros. That doesn't get enough credit is how much works intuitively. You really don't need almost any explaining to start playing the game. The way the normals work with the A button, and the directions, the way movement works, the way weight works, even the way the percentage works is fairly easy to understand after like 2 seconds of looking. You hit someone, they take damage, they get thrown farther. That's it. That's a 2-second explanation. And it fully explains how the percentages work. I've never understood the percentage symbol, since there doesn't appear to be any component of it that has any relation to the number 100. A per mil symbol would make a little bit more sense since it only goes up to 999. But that doesn't even make that much sense because they'll usually die at like 130 or whatever amount. It depends on what Smash game you're playing and what character. But 130 is like the highest you usually see. And in Smash for Wii U, it goes higher than that. You can get up to like 160 in real matches without too much viewing. This will kill. He did a baby mode combo, but it should still kill. Doing a baby mode combo was good there because he didn't kill during Gane. I'm not sure he could have killed during Gane, but you can see he got a little bit of meter because Gane ended. No combo here, he's too far away. Good blocking from Chun. Yan had to do a lot of approaching, so he didn't have that much time to do a grab mix-up. He only had like 2 opportunities in that whole Gane. Both times he was anticipating Chun-Li to try and, you know, jump out or take a throw or something. He could have died. Should have been SGGK right there. That's what they actually need to do. They can't just use Sony IPs. PlayStation All-Stars 2 would be a great game if they just used whatever the fuck IP they could get their hands on. Spider-Man is like the right direction. Done. How are they going to add the TF2 heavy to Tekken when they haven't even added Luigi yet? That's true, they did have a bunch of whatever they could get their hands on. But they needed more of whatever they could get. They needed better whatever they could get their hands on. They needed a Dante that wasn't the Dante they got. And Solid Snake would have been nice too. Solid Sneak. I like this matchup. Should have had some square characters. Yeah, Alucard, Snake, and Cloud should have been fucking PlayStation All-Stars. But no, it's fucking Smash. It's impossible to have a roster as strong as Smash Bros. That's the problem. You like can't do it. I'd rather have Ken, I guess. I don't like that it would be Ryu and Akuma. I do like that it would be Ryu and Ken. That being said, a lot of Ryu's attacks seem to be like signature Ryu attacks that wouldn't work so well for Ken. That was a nice Stay Fierce. Oh, he got the combo from the fireball. Put Cat in PlayStation All-Stars 2. They can't even use Bayonetta. Well, they could use Bayonetta. Well, I don't know if they could use Bayonetta or not. But Smash already did. Oh, Cat made it? I didn't even know that. Yeah, put a car. Put a car from fucking Ridge Racer. They actually maybe should have done that. I would have liked the playable car. Yeah, Street Fighter has a playable car. Wait, this is a real match. Wait, no, it's not a real match. There we go. This is a real match. What do you guys think if Shadow gets into Smash Ultimate? Then you want to chaos control everyone? That would be like the worst pick for me. But it would be good for the memes. I feel like Shadow would be a really bad character to add. If they're gonna add another Sonic character, I'd like Knuckles. And then I'd make him not Sonic in any way. I'd make him have gliding and shit. Different moves. Knuckles would be the best pick, I feel. They could do some other stuff. Like, honestly, like, I don't like Silver, but he has a tool set that would be good in a fighting game. Robotnik would be nice too, or there's a lot to do with him and his robots. They could do like Blaze the Cat, I guess, but I don't think they really treat Blaze the Cat like a serious character anymore. She was like equal to Sonic in Sonic Rush, and now it's like she's a side character. Silver would only be good if he was nothing like Sonic. He would have to be like a mostly psychic kind of player, kind of character. He would have to like have moves that tossed you all around and shit. If he was an echo of Sonic, he'd be horrible. You wouldn't want to use it. You wouldn't want to use him as a character if you weren't going to use his psychic powers. If you pick Bowser Jr. and you don't pick Wendy O. Koopa, I sincerely don't know what you're doing. Oh no. In all seriousness, all the Koopalings suck. Bowser Jr.'s the best one by far. I don't like that Bowser Jr. is tied to the Koopa Clown car. If it were up to me, I would have had the Koopalings be a character and give them the Koopa Clown car and then have Bowser Jr. be something else. Give him his own little moveset. Make him a separate character. Makoto Mirror. I want to see Junior fucking using the paintbrush and shit. Any character in Smash, including TV and movie characters. Bill Murray. But Bill Murray in Smash. Will this stun? It did. You gotta be really fast to pick up the stun here. Fortunately, Makoto is really fast. Top Cat. I like that. The indisputable leader of the gang. Alright, if I could put anyone into Smash, I'd put Adolf Hitler into Smash. What do you guys think? Imagine you had all these Nintendo characters plus Adolf Hitler. I think Meaty Stand Strong can combo to another Stand Strong. I want this, but I'm not going to click on it. Someone already had the idea to add Hitler to Smash. It's a shame. This tournament's probably nearly over, and I've only been paying half attention to it forever. Oh yeah, this is a matchup I can get behind. Unfortunately, both far strong and far forward, And even low forward are counter pokes by Ibukis on those. Which makes neutral a little bit obnoxious because you've got to counter poke with like, I don't know. You gotta fish for parries. If you parry a slide, you get to fuck Ibuki up, but if you parry a low forward, you don't really get much. He went for Crota overhead. If that was a light super, it probably would have all. You'd probably been able to do some nice stuff. Hi. This man has Jury and SF5 in his name. I feel bad for him. How is Walking Dead still going? Isn't it like on its way out by now? I just feel like that's a really weird and maybe bad pick. But I don't watch Walking Dead. But I've been hearing about people complaining about it forever. That's like all people have ever fucking done about Walking Dead is complain about it that I hear. They probably like it. People complain about stuff they like. Nice, he got the pick up from the overhead. It's more precise than it looks to get that EX fireball corner set up there. He just picked Super 2 without waiting for the opponent's pick. He knew what he wanted it. I had it pointed out to me somewhat recently that Rufus is supposed to look like a bomb. And I gotta admit I didn't notice that. The long braid is supposed to be like a fuse. Oh, big damage here. He doesn't have enough meter for another unblockable. Yeah, he had to do that. He had to pursue the 50-50 instead. He can still win this. This is actually not even that bad. Ooh, no, he's dead. It is supposed to call to mind that he's explosive. No, she can punish. Yep, that's what you do. This shit's very hard to win, but not unwinnable. If Oro gets a chicken combo, okay, never mind, he's dead. They should add Ashley to Smash, but they should give her the Peachette crown. That's what they should do. Peachette Ashley. Ashlet. The ultimate idea. Dude, if they add Krygor, that would be the dankest fucking shit. Let me think of what character I actually genuinely want to get added to Smash that has a reasonable chance of making it. I guess it's Gino. I guess I want Gino to make it. That's like such a dream now. You know what I mean? No one remembers who Gino is. It would just be weird. for like 90% of players, and the other 10% would be like, yes, Gino, we finally made it. What if they added Mallow? Imagine if Gino nearly made it like 20 billion times and then Mallow ended up making it. That's gonna kill. That's crouching John. Take a lot of damage from that. There's a will, there's a way with Makoto Super 1. Makoto Super 2, you also need good screen position, so it's harder to make that like pure lucky comeback. What if they added Shrek? What if Shrek made it to Smash? That would be pretty good for the memes. What if they added Shrek and his Echo Fighter was the lead singer of Smash Mouth? Smash Mouth? Smash Bros? I feel like it works. No meter. It's Johnny Cage's turn to be in a cameo appearance in another game. We had Sub, we had Raiden, we had Scorpion. Now it's Johnny Cage. Yep, what a concept. If Bugs Bunny was in BB Tag, he would have a move where he hit you on the head with a hammer. And you could add on a follow-up hit, and the move would be called One Lumper 2. Dude, Bugs Bunny would actually be great. A Looney Tunes fighting game would actually be great. Bugs is Astral. I feel like there's a good answer to that. Take a pencil and erase you. Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of shit you could do with Bugs. An anime fighting game starring Looney Tunes characters would probably be one of the best games ever. Why is this grand finals? Why is there a fucking Yun and a Chun-Li on this screen? Why is Third Strike so terrible at tournament level? What if Bugs Bunny could like dig a hole and oncoming projectiles would like go down the hole and then he could like dig another hole would appear behind the opponent and they would shoot themselves with their own projectile. He could probably use the digging, burrowing like a teleport too. He could eat a carrot to regain health. Or build meter. Do any of the Angry Birds have names? I love that ender. The delayed hit palm ender. It looks so cool. Beefy too. He's got it. He's got the meter. Chun-Li actually could have supered that activation, I think. I don't know if she was committed though. It was over. Is that the whole tournament? Might be.